Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Papa Varen and this is Crusader Kings 3 and we return here today of course as Duchess Elizabeth as she stands next to her brother. I do think that Elizabeth wants to prove herself, and if she can prove herself in the eyes of her brother, so in the eyes of her best friend Suero, then she is going to do this all the more. I really enjoy this. I think it's a very easy entry point for this narrative because ultimately there's nothing at stake here. It's just for some tiny artifact. Who really cares about it? But we can participate in this campaign and achieve something here. Now, there were two comments that I really enjoyed under the last videos, and those were, first and foremost, one said, basically, hey, what if we roleplay greedy beyond just the money? And I like that one. I would argue that we've kind of already done it in a way, where, you know, I was completely willing to spend money if it made that it put me into a better position. For example, greed for recognition, be that of people that we enjoy the company of, so for example Suero, or, you know, greed for recognition of people that should fear us, is something that we've definitely tried to get at, and a part of that has been creating this minute-arms squad here of the Light Horsemen. So I think we're already sort of going into this direction. Greed, I think, in Elizabeth's case, could also mean that she might be a bit greedy for affection, for other people giving her friendship, but also just positive affirmation of her character. Because even though she was, of course, spoiled by her father, Prince Vaya the Impaler, I do think that, as deranged as he was, he can't have been a father that legitimately would have given her a healthy appreciation of, you know, fatherly love. And with that being said, I do think that if she gets close to somebody, she might be basically obsessive. And in that sense, greed might go into this direction as well. That is how I feel about it anyway. Whether it plays out that way is something else, but I like the idea that we should look beyond just the money when it comes to greed, although of course the trait here itself, the game interprets it in this fairly one-dimensional way. Now, the other thing somebody pointed out that I also really enjoyed, that's a really good pointer, thank you very much for pointing that out, is that Suero is of course in a faction against our liege. He is in this Liberty faction, and with that is directly opposing the crown. Now, should this escalate, there's a pretty good chance, since we respect our king, that we have to choose between Duke Suero vs and our king. And I gotta tell you, I'm not entirely certain what we would do right now. It heavily depends on where we are in the moment, although I gotta tell you, I think she would go through fire for Duke Suero. They are best friends, they are siblings, they were chosen by their father, and so on. But it's an interesting topic, and I think the comment basically also asked, hey, why are we kind of not talking about, why are we ignoring the fact that Suero is in this faction? And a degree of this, I think, stems from the fact that unless a faction is strong enough to actually rebel, it is basically as though it doesn't exist at all. So the way I see this right now is that Duke Suero is agitating. He is seeking, you know, anybody that will aid him, anybody that will support his agenda here of just giving more rights to local lords. And the Crown of Aquitaine, if you recall, you know, is in a position where it always has been a question who really holds the power in the realm. When we rebelled, all the way back, like 100 years back, when we rebelled against the descendants of Charlemagne, we were basically destroying the Crown of Aquitaine. It was completely detached, there was no central authority anymore, and it was gone entirely. And with that in mind, I do feel like a dispute about who really is in control and who should have to owe the king how much, I do think like that is something that could happen without it being treason, because it is a fairly, you know, common debate that has been had as we went on. Now, either way, this is something for the future. If he gathers more supporter, if more people join the Liberty faction, then we might support him as well, or have to go against him. It's difficult to say, but what is important to point out is that as it stands, it seems that Duke Suero is about to leave the Liberty faction anyway. That is because he likes King Lope as much as he does. So currently he's agitating against King Lope, but maybe King Lope can sway him. King Lope has been a fairly talented, I would say, diplomat as it stands anyway. After all, he did convince our father. And you know what I just noticed? King Lope, so he's of course the heir to Italy, but if he were to die and hold more than one kingdom title, it would be split. Then again, he is on high partition at the very least, but it would be split because his daughters, well, he has 3 of them, and he has no sons, so it would be split between these daughters. Quite an interesting case there as well. Anyway, let's get back to our war. I said in the last episode we might actually challenge their soldiers here, and then I saw how many minute-arms they have, but I have to tell you, she is a really good leader. She thinks very highly of her military abilities, of her prowess, and her power to inspire her troops, and she is a brave lady. I think she wants to prove herself to the world as the Marshal of Aquitaine, and to her brother. So I will actually march towards this. Whether we will lose because of this number of men-at-arms is something I can't tell you, but I will do my best not to lose. Let's just march in there. I could demand payments from him, but yeah, we're definitely not going to be doing that. Let's just take a look at what we can do, whether we will succeed in battle or whether we will catch basically just a bit of a slap here. You might be a duchess, but you are also a loathsome doxy. The unprovoked anger expressed by my brother Ali comes as a complete surprise. He has been under a lot of stress lately, but to behave like this, and even he struggles, it's calming. See, I wish I could tell him to leave my court. We don't really get along. He seems to have anger issues. I wish he simply wasn't here. But since he is this close a family member, I can't tell him to leave, so I guess I could marry him out, right? I could say matrilineal. The problem here that I personally see is, though, since we are sending the offer, it would be something that only Christians accept, but he is explicitly not Christian. Yeah, I wish he wasn't here. But anyway, yeah, just to complete that, my point about the faction is that factions are very two-dimensional. It either is a threat or it's just somebody sitting in the waiting room, and right now, nobody seems to be out for trouble. So right now I'm going to take this as him, you know, playing with the thought of rebellion, but not doing anything that really would put him in. New faction leader. You're now leader of the Liberty faction against King Lope. Excuse me. Forced to join faction. I cannot believe that. Duke Soero used his hook on you to force you into joining the Liberty faction against King Lope. Wow. So as we both are present right here. Where even is he? Shouldn't he be in Poitiers? Why is he over there? Well, oh, he's leading the army for our king. What a ridiculous setup. So he is the army commander, if I'm seeing this. No, he's just a knight. Yeah, he is a knight in the armor of our in the army of our king. And now he goes, we should rebel against our king. I think, thinking about this now, I feel as though this has to do with the campaign that they're currently waging. It must be a devastating one with many casualties, and one that, you know, maybe he didn't actually want to partake in. But then the king said, it is my privilege to name you knight. And all of a sudden he wants to go against the king. That certainly is interesting. Let me take a look at this. Does this mean he still wants to leave? See, this is the same case here anyway. As in Tour, yes, we are against him. Yes, he is, of course, a thorn in our side. But, I mean, with this faction, it's not really going anywhere. But look at that. And he is going to leave this faction. That is actually ridiculous. I'm not sure how to play this. So we're not going to press this anyway until we would be home. If he is still in this faction within 8 months, I might actually go through with it, but it's a breach of trust that he would use the strong hook that I owed him because we are best friends against me in this capacity. Suero. It's very difficult. So we don't actually, it seems, get a negative modifier here from us being forced into the faction because he used the hook on us. But man, Suero, I thought better of you. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Let's finish this war, and then we go there. But this is a lot of food for thought, I think, either way. We're looking at a situation where Suero forced us into... Ooh, and they're coming for me, huh? Where Suero forced us into this faction, yeah, and I'm going to fight this myself. It's an equal fight. He has a better commander, but we have more men-at-arms counter. Let's hope that it actually works here. There are many layers of I think... interpretation that we can undertake here against or force Duke Suero, because maybe us being forced in is actually really just him contacting us and saying, dear sister, please do this for me. I am waging a war in the name of our king, and it is not a good war. What war is it anyway against France here? It is a Savoy claim on the county of Bresse. So he is doing this as an attacker against the French, together with the Germans and the Lotharingians. I mean, this is a massive war against France and Velka Morava. Maybe it is too devastating. That is the only angle I think that I can reasonably take here, where he says our king has made a poor decision and we should get more freedoms in response. Very interesting. I gotta think about that, whether that is something that hurts Elisabeth, or whether Elisabeth says you are thinking of us as a family, and that is good. That is very effective. That is a big step right there. Let's take a look at this battle. My god, I hope that we win it, because if you recall, the first time we participated in a fairly risky battle, we did this here in Iberia, and we got a bloody nose. Our father basically disappeared from fighting enemies for about a decade, right? And then he jumped back in. If we win this, it might make us, it might just embolden us, basically. Is where I'm coming from there. And now that I think about it, actually, yeah, this war isn't even, I don't know how I could forget, but this was actually the war of our other brother. Well, either way, we were, of course, marching through the territory of our brother, which is Poitiers, so I'm sure that we were in contact with him. And this is a good start. The fact that we are fighting just this army alone, it's a miscalculation on the enemy's part, and something that we will, of course, gladly utilize. Now the rest of the army has arrived, but we are winning. Our knight Centol de Bordeaux wounded Gonçal Benavides. Centol, very well. You know what, I actually have to... I want to inspect here real quickly. Who else serves? Count Zentulo is serving. Okay, that's pretty good. He's serving in our name, and I think he's doing a great job fighting in our name. Then Zentol, of course. We might want to reward him in some way or another. Eneko, our spy master. I knew I could trust him. Fernando Ali. Are you serving Ali? I believe he is. So he must have insulted us while we were in campaign. Then we have Piaris, we have Zafir. Yeah, these are all actually serving. All of my brothers, as much as I disrespect them, they are all serving. I think Mitchipsa is the only one here not serving. I really just wish I could send him away, but yeah, okay, interesting. We have a very strong household of knights. I think that is probably also what is actually carrying us here. And my brother Ali died. He was slain in battle. Wait a minute. By an enemy soldier. He wasn't even slain by a named character. Very unfortunate. Labrie gained Hound Pens. You love to see it. Court Physician's knowledge increases. Oh, I like that. Martin, underappreciated in the sense that he is our friend. Don't know what to tell you. I don't actually know the fella. I don't think we had any contact with him when we were our father. But Elizabeth likes him, so I mean, there you go. And then Ali dies. We lost 11 stress because we disliked him so much. Wow. Yeah, we did not appreciate him. But either way, this battle seems to be successful. He wounded Gaulois X. That is just good work. We don't love each other, but that is good work that you're doing for the family. I think you should know your place, though. You know, I was almost gonna say maybe you should think about giving them land, but I will be honest with you. If they aren't born and, you know, under the direct guidance of our father, if they were disrespected by our father, then I will not respect them either. Spouse mediates with Occitan. Ah, Mayor Matilda gained 10 opinion. So she could be on our council. We don't dislike her. She's actually quite talented. And she is Occitan. Wait, is she now? Bordel is Gasconiera. So she's one of the last leftovers, I suppose, of pure Occitan culture. But look at that. We absolutely destroyed them. Very nice. We have, I think, shown that we deserve being the marshal. And yeah, look at that. Ali, sadly, indeed, has passed away. Gomez passed away quite some time ago. So now 2 of our siblings are actually gone. The battle is over. We have succeeded, gained 118 prestige. Very nice. We got some more war contribution. I like that as well. Let me just check here, right? We did counter their horses. I mean, they barely had any, just 100 right here. We had 300 of the pikemen, at least should have had anyway. And yeah, look at that. We wounded them, we destroyed them. It was a pretty good fight outside of Ali dying, but hey, if he wanted to live, he shouldn't have died. A truism. There could not be more truism, but... I mean, is it wrong, though? Let's start sieging. Let's get them, take them down here. They took Nantes here as well, and I think... Oh, no battle, actually, huh? Yeah, I'm just going to siege this. Oh, as he comes for us in a last-ditch effort, I don't think you know what you're doing, buddy. Yeah, we're actually going to wipe them here. Elizabeth is a very successful commander, despite not being the ideal commander. She is a much better fighter than she is actually a commander. And we've taken Bronzy, or Brenzy, prisoner here. Can I sell him? Is he worth anything? He's worth nothing, huh? Will not accept. Why would you not accept? Unimportant courtier. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're not a good fighter. I can't say I respect you. I actually actively dislike you. I'm not going to torture you. I don't think I will behead him or I will get rid of him. I think I'll just keep him in prison and wait until maybe, you know, the time is ripe for him to be released for money or just die in my prison. And yeah, look at that. I think we're going to invest the money that we have here in more light horsemen. I would like to build that up. I would like a formidable army. Then in the meantime, we have another war between these two. Wait a minute. So, what happened here? Gomez, right, Gomez died ages ago. You got Armagnac in the year 1001. Because she died from her wounds, of course, I do recall this. And now you are attacking him for Biano. Right, Egidio is actually now moving in against Countess Elisa. This is a twist, this is a turnaround. He just won that war. And now he says, Elisa, you know what? I'm gonna destroy you. Can he actually pull that off? He has 1,000 troops because he has mercenaries. I think these mercenaries actually are from the last war that he still won. But Eneko may join that war, and if he does, then Egidio might be in trouble. This is going to be quite interesting. We could see the reversal that I didn't think possible. Yeah, Armagnac is a bit of a hotspot. I think Armagnac is in a difficult spot in its development. And speaking of difficult spot, we will very soon get a claim on Argent. And I have to tell you, I will kick out Zentur. Yes, he served in the army, of course, but he is plotting against us. He's no friend of us, and he tried to basically get me destroyed, get me murdered by ousting myself as a witch. I would like to declare war against him, of course for the county, but I think ultimately also in the hope of capturing him and killing him, so that he can't tell anybody of my secrets. Sometimes radical measures must be pushed through if it is for the good of our family. And indeed, of course, it will be. We're not going to marry anybody here, don't worry about that. And, man, is Suero still in this faction? He is not. I do not believe that we will push this through. I will be in this faction, I suppose, for 10 years. Honestly, I will look at it this way. Suero served in that war. And he comes back a bit of a changed man. You know, he pulled us into this faction. He always agitated against the king. And all of a sudden, he comes back a bit more quietly. He doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to discuss it. But he's no longer interested in this faction. But we sit it out. We say, Suero should at any point, you believe that it is right that we move against King Lope, I will be here. That is the way I see this. Should he rejoin this at any point, so should he lose opinion basically of King Lope, then we might just very well indeed move against him. He has a plus 12 opinion. That is an opinion that can go down very, very quickly. Look at Grateful. Grateful is already going down because obviously it's something that goes down year by year. There's a pretty good chance that we will rebel together with our brother. I don't want to guarantee it. I don't want to say that it is guaranteed, but it's something that I don't think is impossible. It's interesting, without a doubt, that he pulled us in and then immediately leaves. I guess he got basically bribed by the king, but that may change. And wait a minute, my cousin got slain. Alva Mab Louis Coronel. Wait a minute, my cousin. So, he comes from the, Prince Louis the Kind. My uncle's family. Well, quite a bit smaller now. But Louis the Kind had many, many children, as you can see. Our family is fairly large. Was he born a bastard? Yeah, he was born a bastard. Interesting. Duchess from death. So this was inside of a family anyway. I think he's just too distant for us to actually care. But he's a Breton. Very, very interesting indeed. A Breton walking around in our family. Where do you live now? In Count Gill's court. Right, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, that is why that fella was slain. He was in this battle right over here. And look at that, Philippe is growing up to be a healthy child. While I've come to expect mischief from my son and heir Philippe, his creativity keeps me on my toes. And that is not a prank, it is a brawl, a disgruntled tutor, or Grace niece from an adventure gone wrong. Never a dull moment. He is rowdy. He definitely is going into our direction here, and I do feel, since we are very close to him, I think Elizabeth is the first child that genuinely wants to take care of her children, that sees herself as just the leader of a family unit. I mean, I believe I've used very similar words for Vea in the past, but he saw this in a very deranged and odd way. Yeah, I would definitely say that Duchess Elizabeth is the closest thing we have to a functioning mother in this playthrough so far, although of course after living through Prince Vea, I don't think that... I think she has a bit of a difficult time there even then, but you know, how healthy can you be after growing up under Prince Vea? I think War Profiteer makes the most sense here. Yeah, you know what, let's go with this. We enjoy being at war. We love plundering, and we without a doubt are very, very good at it. This war is going to end in just a bit, but yeah, no, I like the idea. Oh, and I am pregnant again, and I actually... Do you remember this? There is no actual way. Do you remember this item? We gave this item to Gilles because he asked me for it, and I said in the moment back in the day. I mean, why would I keep it? Who cares? But look at that. I have a beautiful rolling hoop. A beautifully crafted little toy trinket sure to bring a smile to the face of any child. I think I'm going to give this to my son. Philippe, how would you enjoy it to play with this with this little tool here that I got from, the war? I mean, don't worry about what a war is, just know that it gives you beautiful, beautiful presents. Yeah, I think Elizabeth loves ravaging her enemies. She loves to destroy what they own, take it, and then give it to her own. And we're getting another child. Let's hope that it will be a strong and healthy one. And this war is doubtlessly over. We got 24 bucks, and we took a prisoner here, Mirna Senulatovic. And she is, I don't think she's important at all to anybody. She's a wanderer. We just straight up captured a wanderer. She can't pay for herself, and honestly, I think we'll just release her. She, honestly, hey, this happens, unlucky for you that you got caught up in this. You didn't really do anything about this, and you are not worth any money, so you might as well leave. It's not like she showed up and was one of my enemies. We do still have, Princess Estefania Matrone. For one day, right? We just imprisoned her, and she surely actually plays a big role. She is the sister of the king, 24 years of age. I like her. I do like Estefania, and I think she would do better to live here with us rather than with Count Gilles, the weakling. If I simply were to recruit you, right? Could I do this for a favor? I mean, I could do that. Oh, actually, she doesn't want to do that. Jesus. You really don't want to be in my court? Really, is that it? You're unwilling to come into my court. Alright, Estefania. I'll keep you here for the moment. Maybe one day somebody's willing to pay for you. And then, of course, Brenzi, I mean, he isn't really doing much. Let's just ignore that. And please don't take the boats. Are you crazy? Please stop that. The war is over. The artifact has been won. And with that, we are back to square one, I would say, in terms of us being busy. Now, let me just check this, though. He hasn't rejoined it. I could force Duke Suero, of course, but I do not want to force him to join us here. As long as he still has this opinion, I won't get involved. This is his business, whether he wants to agitate against the king or not. I also did see, yeah, look at that. He did lose that war. The kid tried to, get what is his or what should be his, but Egidio sadly failed. The lone son of Gomez. Maybe I could even... Honestly, the fact that he is the son of Gomez... I wish I could actually aid him. But I can't. A very, very strong kid. And the heir's ex. That is just ridiculous. Maybe we can get a deal with Egidio in the future. For the moment, it seems like that is not an option. Ooh, a nose for profit. While out on a leisurely stroll, the cry of a particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the street. Greetings, my lady. I have an exquisite assortment of wares, if my lady has the coin. The merchant stall is positively bringing with baubles and haberdasheries. As a skilled purveyor of fine goods, a couple of trinkets catch my eye on the overflow of knickknacks. Right, I feel lucky. I don't think so. I would like, honestly, I do feel like we just move on here. I would have said maybe we shouldn't just move on if I had been positive towards Fortune, but we literally are nothing towards him. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna just move on here. Sorry, Fortune, you're not getting my money. Oh, and No. Duke Suero is dead. Killed in battle by Count Nesco of Ljubljana. In the service of what? Bavaria? In which war is he involved here? How did this... No. Duke Suero is dead. He was slain in battle by Count Nesco of Ljubljana in a battle that I can't explain. Because there is no war going on that involves the Count of Ljubljana or his liege. Am I losing it? Am I blind? If you see it, please let me know, because this right now is shocking me. I was so geared towards the narrative where Suero may choose to oppose the king, but now he's dead, and he died while serving the king. In his army is where he found his end, and I can't even explain what exactly happened here. Lately, it feels like I'm constantly being distracted by lascivious thoughts and erotic fantasies. With all the archers of my everyday life, it is all too easy to lose myself in daydreams and forget about reality. These desires are clearly interfering with my life, but what should I do about them? We're not gonna turn historian. As much as I think it would shake things up, it makes no sense. She has no relationship to it whatsoever. She's not religious in the first place, so she doesn't know enough to turn to something that is so niche. We could try, or we could just gain athleticism here. Honestly, I'm gonna roll between these two, okay? Just give me a moment, I'm gonna roll between these. I do like getting stress breaks, it gives you more events, you know, but at the end of the day, I also do like athletic. Whether she copes well or not with the death of her brother is something that I will leave to luck, so just give me a moment. And what I got back, actually, here is a 4, so I said 1, 2, 3 will be maybe a different kind of outlet will help, and 4, 5, 6 will be I will bite my lip and try to stay focused. I will eat the stress. This is the most life-defining event, I think, that Elisabeth has had. Yes, Gomez, her brother, has died. Yes, another brother has died, but let's be real, Ali and her, they were never close. At no point in time were they close. But now Suero died. Literally the best friend in the world. I will bite my lip and try to stay focused. We have been overwhelmed by stress again. Duke Suero died because of the king. King Lope Matrone. I cannot believe the devastation that this king has brought to our family. Every day seems to slip away from me recently. A never-ending train of greedy petitioners and difficult decisions. My chest tightens as another steps forward. My fingers itch and tingle at the tips. My eyes feel too small for my skull. I need to get away from this, just for a little while. I need to feel the reassuring hardness of cold coin between my fingers. Something reliable, something that makes sense. That's so much to ask. Could become profligate here, which means we would spend money. I do think this is very, very counter to the idea of us being greedy. Now, of course, it could lead to this situation where we say we try to hoard money, and what did it do for us? It did nothing. Our brother's dead. The money that we have does nothing for us in this instance. We could also say we can become a drunkard. I mean, I could definitely see that. Not good for our child. We are pregnant, but I can definitely see that. Or I could say I hate this. You know what? I'm gonna roll another die. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. That is how we do it right here. And I received a 3. We will become a drunkard. You gain the trait drunkard. You lose 32 stress. You lose dread. You spend prestige. And if you're still stressed in 5 years, of course, you may suffer another stress break. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised that this is how it would go when our brother, our best friend, passes away. Duke Vea II Soirée of Poitiers, you can see that our brother also was honoring our father, named his firstborn after this. At least the land stayed together. He took over right here, and man, as devastating as it is, I think we might want to try to build something up with his son as much as we can. Could request a claim. I mean, that's just nonsense. I could try to convert him to witchcraft, but I have to tell you, I'm devastated. Suero was our best friend, and I don't think that Elisabeth will find anything like it in life again. And I do think that even if it isn't reflected here, I do think that she might put the burden, put the shame, put the guilt of all of this at the doorstep of King Lope Matrone. That's definitely something to think about, and that is exactly what I will be doing. Let me know what you think about this. This is the first test of faith, the first challenge for her. You know, she came out of these sort of ideal circumstances, always shielded, always guarded by her father, and now, man, things truly went sideways. I do hope that Adalberto comforts her, but, you know, we haven't had the chance yet to romance or befriend him, so who knows what their personal relationship really is. He likes her much, much more than she likes him. The rest of the world here, I think, isn't doing too much yet. He is attacking Navarra, but obviously he is losing as Navarra has hired... Oh my god, Navarra will actually be losing. So Navarra was winning. I saw this way before, but the Holy Order got decimated, apparently. They must have had a very bad battle here. They're only coming for one province, but this might be a bit of a resurgence here for the Muslims. What else has... How? Literally, how did you do that? He actually won the war. Mahdi Yusuf the Impaler won the war for Northern Cyprus. And with that, we have the Almohadi on the march. They actually did it. He defeated the father and then the child in this one. This child is an ugly son of a gun, and we have a royal rumble with this in the East. Very exciting to see. That is, of course, something that I was hoping for, but it didn't look all too good after the last episode. Everything else looks fairly normal. But yeah, a lot of heavy decisions, a lot of emotion, I think, coming our way here. And I will leave you with this. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you later, alligator.